back and relax and enjoy Fighting Tiger football.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is 2:01 p.m. in Finley Stadium. Thank you for joining us today as we take a look back at the Fighting Tiger football program. This year, homecoming looks a little bit different, as has everything in the year 2020. But today we take a virtual look back and bring you guys back to campus and dive into the heart of the Tiger football program. So sit back and enjoy your time.
Oh man. You talk about dream jobs? Yeah. I can remember our first locker room was over where the softball team is now. And it used to be a swim locker room. And that was our first locker room. And we practiced on the baseball field and come out here in a game and I can remember one game there was they were burning the maintenance building down where the flag is now. They were burning that down during the middle of the game. And there was houses over here. There was a trailer. The stands was actually sitting on a tennis court. And that was before the old marriage housing became the football building the following year. But golly, we joke about it and tease about it that we all love coffee. And we can remember we didn't have we had so little money. We would get 2 or 3 pots of coffee out of that one set of grounds. But it was one of those things where it was just fun. It was really fun.
I hope you enjoyed that short tour of the 1988 season. I hope that through this film you can enjoy many more years of football at Campbellsville College as a participant. I hope that your families can enjoy it, watching from the stands and traveling with us. But regardless of all that, I think you could very easily see that our coaching staff is very experienced in teaching the game of football. But more important than that, folks, we are a caring group of men. We're interested and committed to a goal of making Campbellsville College football a tradition. I suggest that you and your family visit with us, see what you think about us. If we meet your academic and athletic needs, we will welcome you with open arms into our family. We just hope that you work hard in high school the rest of your career and make this the place that you want to come and join with us and be a part of our football family. May God bless you in this tremendous decision in your life.
It sounds crazy, but we were 0-11 in '88. But I'm telling you one thing right now, it was the best year I believe I ever had. We were just so close. We went from game to game to game, lifting each other up and helping each other, and the closeness was unbelievable. It was just unreal.
We started here in '87, didn't have a thing. And then we went on, and I worked out there on that field, got glassed out of it, and everything else.
I arrived in Campbellsville in 1988, and the program was really its first season of varsity competition. And, we won 0 games that year.
We literally felt like the skin of a drum for all you people that play the drums. We got beat, but we never, ever, ever gave up in any game. Not one of us. Not anybody on that team laid down.
Because they wanted to play for Coach Finley. It was an honor to be a part of the football program. The early years were special.
Well, I think the biggest impact Campbellsville University football probably has had on the university, quite honestly, is just helping to sustain the university. At that time it was Campbellsville College, and it actually came about just a couple years after I graduated from here, my wife and I. And the university was really low in numbers, and so the immediate impact of football was a drastic increase in enrollment. So, obviously that made an impact on the university immediately.
People were literally leaving the stands. It was 4th down and 13. We had scored, and then Evansville had come back and scored. And Mark Bradley came over to the PA saying, "Hey, come back to Tiger Stadium next week when we'll host Union College." So people are literally leaving. It's 4th and 13. We went into our Y formation 80 pass. This is a flood pass. And we had Ron Sams on the outside, who was an absolute jet with feet. We had Mark Super Duper Cooper in the Y formation on the right side, and Dr. Proctor, Lee Proctor, coming in speed motion to the right-hand side. Everybody, tremendous athletes. I give my teammates so much praise. They incredible young line. So I roll out to the right. Dr. Proctor and Sam's crisscross. I throw it up, and it goes out of the camera on the film, and it's about 59 yards. The tremendous thing was Ron just leaves the safety and makes a tremendous diving catch at the 12-yard line. Subsequently, we run an option to the 1. Then we run the best play on the goal line, the bootleg pass. A lot of the teammates who coach may argue with that, but I still say it's the best play on the goal line. Ron was wide open, we hit him. The crowd has erupted, and the feeling is validation. Validation for the players during that time that had went 0-11 the year before, and the tremendous athletes that Coach Thomas and Coach Reiner had recruited in that year, as well as the new assistant coaches. There probably wasn't a dry eye on the field afterwards. The emotion was overwhelming. The fans were coming back in droves after the pass, and then everybody was on the field, the student body, faculty members, everyone, family members. It was fantastic. And like I said, probably the biggest gathering to sing the fight song, probably up until when they beat Georgetown for the conference championship. tremendous feeling, and especially for the 23 guys that had come back from the year before when we went 0-11.
Come back the next year, '89, we get a little better. We're 3-7-1, I think, what our record ended up.
Those who came back that winter and went into the weight room, we were on a mission. I think there were 23 of us. And the build up to that was tremendous. We all believed in one another. There was never an I in any team that I ever played for Campbellsville. And that was built and ingrained in you, no matter what you did, no matter what position you played. And if you were even on the scout team, it didn't matter. You mattered. We were a very cohesive unit. We entrenched ourselves into the college culture, supporting every other sport. And when we came back in '89 and subsequently got those wins, and then in '90,
and see some of the highlights of our 1990 season that might help you make your mind up to become a member of the Fighting Tiger football family.
And then my final year of eligibility, which was 1990, we finished the year 8-2, finished in the season ranked number 25 in the country. And to me, really, that explains the moment, I guess you could say, is my entire journey. Being able to start at zero and in a very short time, 3-year span, get to 8-2, 25th in the country. It was a great accomplishment. I had a lot of fun doing it.
it was the full fruits of our labor. We were seasoned veterans, and literally, I think I played 2 fourth quarters, the 2 games we lost, the one in Cumberland and the one to Georgetown. But every other game, we had one of the best rushing defenses in the country, one of the best rushing offenses, all tremendous athletes. My teammates, I played with some of the most gifted athletes ever in the history of the college, and I set them up against any other team. And it wasn't about their size, it wasn't about their speed, it wasn't about their ability. It was about their heart, what it meant to them to play football at Campbellsville, what it meant to walk out and slap the goalpost, what it meant to, you always ran on and off the field in between those lines. What it meant to pray before every game and pray after every game. What it meant every fall when we'd come back to summer camp to fight as hard as we could, offense against defense. And let me tell you, those guys could hit. And I'm still wearing some of the scars from those hits from Steve Lovelace and Skeeter and Jim Sears, pound for pound, the hardest hitter I ever saw in my life. But tremendous heart and a cohesiveness that you couldn't find anywhere else.
I created some relationships that are very strong to this day. I just love Campbellsville University and the entire journey that I had during my playing experience.
And to this day, unfortunately, we've lost some brothers. And I'm talking to the people that followed our team. I feel your losses. And once a Tiger, always a Tiger football player. And once a Campbellsvillian, it's bigger. It's the Maple Trail. It's everything. So once you have been at Campbellsville, you'll understand what I mean. It's the feeling campus-wide of family, and that everyone realizes there's no I in team.
The earlier days, you had guys that, flat sold out to the program. It wasn't a situation that they not getting scholarships. They were here because they wanted to be here, and they sold out to the program. More than anything, they sold out to Coach Finley, and us coaches. It was one of those things where, boys, if you were to say something bad about Coach Finley, the fight was on. And that's how much they loved him. And they loved him because he loved them first, I'm telling you. And then he would express not only his caring for them, but you could see Christ coming out in him so much. Because of his relationship with Jesus Christ, he carried that and felt it was an obligation of ministry to coach and tell these boys. And so we were very, open with our faith. We were very open as a team.
This is what you have to remember that was imparted to me by who I consider to be my second father, Coach Finley. On that football field, you will experience greatness. You will experience defeat. But at the end of the day, you're not curing cancer. You're not generating world peace. But the skills you learn on that field through your defeats, your hard work, your tenacity, your heart, and how you carry yourself along the Maple Trail and into your future, as long as you put your trust in the Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, all of those things will come. And you will have peaks and valleys in your life as an adult. And you will experience great hardship, but you'll draw upon those strengths that were imparted to you at that university. When I was there, it was a college. And through the grace of God and Dr. Winters and Dr. Carter and the incredible faculty and staff of Campbellsville, it grew into a university the likes of which I would have never dreamed of. So it's an honor to be there, to wear the maroon, gray, and white. All those traditions that you hear about, I was very fortunate to be a part of the start of those. But those will carry you through the valleys of your life. And as long as you put your faith and you remember that it is God, your family, your education while you're there, and your continual education as an adult, football, and then everything else. Even when you lose, you're going to win. I can't say enough. And that is not just the football team there.
everybody jokes about it, and the coaches joke about it, him being my daddy and Miss Phyllis being my mama. But I'm going to tell you one thing right now, it was an absolute honor to say Coach Finley's my daddy and Miss Phyllis is my mama, because they took care of me just like their kids. And their own kids, oh gosh. I can remember just a few days ago, Ruth had a birthday. And I sent her a happy birthday note, and I said, happy birthday, sis. Because, I mean, they brought me in, you know, and it was one of those things where I got the honor and the privilege of being right there with Coach Finley when he left this earth and he went to be with his father. And I'm telling you one thing right now, as a coach, your mentor, to be able to say that that's what you spent the last few days of his life, and the last few hours, minutes of his life with him, you can't ask for anything else. I mean, it was full circle with me and Coach Finley. And there's not a day goes by that I don't think about him, and there's not a day that goes by that I do something and realize, man, that's the way he used to say it, or that's the way he used to do it. You know, I mean, he has an influence on people unbelievable. I go on a Friday night to go watch some of the former ball players coaching in high school, and I look out there, holy cow, they're still huddling up. They're still, what's the name of the game? They're playing, what's the name of the game right out there, man? And they're lining up, their huddles are like that, you know, and, you know, the man sold me on the offense that I ran for him was the option. And right now, you know, somebody asked me, well, what do you think about now and what it was like with him? I said, hey, baby, the option's still the best game in the place. I'm telling you, it's still the best game. I sold out to the man. I sold out to the man. And that's what these alumni have done. And it's so obvious with some of the comments that I've seen of people calling me and Facebook and being at games. They sold out to the man. Why? Because the man loved them so much.
We did football and baseball, so I have both mamas to both teams and everything. So, but the whole 16 years were beautiful memories.
So up next, so you refer to often as a matriarch of Fighting Tiger football. You're the mom to all the guys, and but what does that mean to you, and how has that impacted your life through the years, being affiliated with the program and being married to Coach?
That's kind of tough.
Yeah.
It's well, I kind of took care of all of them. Something when they got hurt, I went to hospitals with them and everything, and I just felt like I needed to be we were a family, all of us, and we took care of each other. And Coach wanted to make sure everybody was taken care of, so I tried to help with that, and I just love it all.
And as a coach, we may have some disagreements, okay? But I knew more than anything, he loved me. And that was probably, as a coach, the most important thing was to know that he loved me. You know, I can remember when he interviewed me, he asked me basically two questions. He said, are you a Christian? Yes, sir, I am. Can you be loyal to me? Yes, sir, I can be. You're hired. Sir, don't you want to know what I know about football? No, I'll teach you everything you need to know.
The guys that played with me, I can call each and every one of them, get a hold of them somehow, and it's like we never missed a beat. They're a part of me. They're a part of my life. They're my brothers. They're my sisters, the trainers, the daughters and sons of my coaches wives, the faculty, sports information people, the president and Miss Shirley while I was there. Just tremendous family. the other athletes, and all the different teams, and the drama club, the musical people, everyone all played a part.
And in the meantime, our kids grew up on the practice field. I mean, when school was over with, our kids would come home, and the first thing my kids would do was drop their bags and off they'd head to the practice field, and they'd meet up with other coaches' kids, and they would play while we're out there playing.
You know, we've had a lot of great coaches here, beginning with Ron Finley, and and currently with Coach Barry Thomas. And I was thinking as we were talking about getting ready for this, I've had the opportunity to coach with every coach that's been here since Coach Finley. I didn't get to coach with him, but I've known him a long time. Coached against him when he was at high school, in Russell County High School. And, the impact of this program will be felt for many, many years. And it's a great, the association between football and Campbellsville University has been a welcome return. It has been a blessing to so many. I'm a huge Don Bishop fan, but Don had such a heart for athletics, but the mission and ministry of athletics was at the center of what he did. And he knew that, the ability to take this campus to the next level, both educationally and academically, was going to be through the catalyst of football on campus. So he was an ambassador for football for some time. In 87, though, and probably started sometime around 85, 86, though, the talk really started to get some traction. And as they moved forward with the plans for the beginning of football coming back to Campbellsville University, Don Bishop was at the forefront of that. He fully understood the impact that it could have on the campus and the community. So I remember actually Miss Finley and I were talking out front, and actually I think it was just a couple of Saturdays ago, maybe it was the 33rd anniversary of the first game in 1987, which was a JV game played at Campbellsville High School. And actually our current coach, Coach Thomas, and I sat on the back of my truck in the corner of the field and watched that first game, and subsequent games that were played there after that. So, it's hard to believe, quite honestly, that was 33 years ago. But all that really was orchestrated from the vision that Don Bishop had for football here on campus. And the thing about it is, it wasn't, what I love about Don, and, being in the role that I'm in now, which was the role that he held at that time as Director of Athletics, it was important that he not only brought football here, but he chased after some of the best men that were available at very strict budget guidelines and tried to field a team of coaches. And it's amazing how God ordained and provided all that. You take somebody like Ron Finley, Mr. Dave Fryrear, somebody like Eric Graves, Haywood Reiner, Mike Thomas, some of those guys, that came in and coached, and a lot of them had coaching experience, but some of them had retired, or some of them were just taking on this project that he got them to believe in it. I'm talking about Don, who got them to believe in it and forced them to keep the mission of the school where it needs to be, and to develop young men with high character ideals, and also great football players. So it just is amazing what Mr. Don Bishop was able to do and accomplish with his vision and plan, and obviously other people involved too, but he was that front runner for it, and to me it sure paid off. This program has come a long way. I know he's looking down from heaven and just has to be smiling and thankful for the way God moved to make all that happen.
I'm very proud of what CU has been able to accomplish while I was there and even beyond. And right now in current times, Coach Perry Thomas is leading the ship, and he's doing a phenomenal job. The Mid-South Conference is like the SEC and NAIA football, so Mid-South Conference is a very tough slate. I'm very proud of what Campbellsville shows up on Saturdays. What the product they put on the field is first class. So to be an alumni of Campbellsville University makes me feel very proud of especially when I was there and where it has progressed to now, today. It's a phenomenal increase, and I couldn't be prouder.
Can't tell you how many times reached out to my teammates when I was in need or when I was down. Hey, let's have a moment of prayer. And that resonates so much when you get older. And now, unfortunately, as I look at some of my teammates that I've lost and some of the guys that followed us that we just recently lost, like Cody, what a blessing it was if you were his teammate to be with him during that time, to share those great things that Cody did, and to be able to honor and witness. Now that he's gone, then you know he's in a better place.
Been a driving force behind the successful transition of men into our culture.
I'm very much 100% behind going to Campbellsville University because of everything that comes with it. You know, you get the small campus, you get the family atmosphere, you get the one-on-one attention that you need in the classroom and in the football facilities and the football program. Like I said, I just mentioned, facilities are first class, they're second to none, and they're continuing to improve. The campus is beautiful. It's a great place to be. It's great people. It's a family atmosphere, and I would absolutely encourage anyone that was looking to go to Campbellsville University. I back it 100%.
The one piece of advice I could give the new Tiger players is to never, ever, ever give up, no matter what, because it's in those times of defeat and despair that we question our abilities. But if you'll just keep working, it's the little things, it's the attention to detail, it's the gaps of your splits, it's carrying out the fakes, it's making your recepts as a defensive backs, it's reading your keys as a linebacker, it's getting the right penetration and doing your job. There's 11 people on that field, and if all 11 will just do their job,
come back and share the man's legacy and carry that legacy over to the next team. You know, again, I understand some of you coaches are still with young kids, and don't get me wrong, you need to be with your kids. But when you get a chance, come back and see us. And then when you get those kids grown up and gone, come on back. There's a special place for Tiger football at Campbellsville University.
But remember, at the end of the day, as Coach Finley would say, we didn't cure cancer here on this football field. We didn't win a war. We are still great young men. Make sure you're committed in your faith. Make sure that you're committed to excellence on and off the field in whatever you do. Make sure that you're representing the maroon, gray, and white better than anybody before or better than anybody after you. It's God, your family, your education, football, and everything else. And as Coach Finley says, winning is just a culmination of all the hard work that you've done. And act like you've won before. Be it a gentleman in victory and a gentleman in defeat. And put your trust in the Lord. God bless you all, and on you Tigers. On you Tigers, on to victory.
You know, I want to be able to see you. I want to be able to squeeze your neck. I want to be able to tell you I love you and I miss you. You know, I just, it's so amazing to see it. I think we counted up, Coach Reiner and I counted up, we got 157 former ball players coaching and teaching in Kentucky high school right now. And it's a Friday night, if you go to a ball game, it's a family reunion. And you just can't get enough. You want to know where the best place to go to meet, to see all the alumni? Go to the state playoff. Because we're going to have some teams in the state playoff that's coached by Fighting Tigers. And they're going to be all over that upstairs watching the ball games because they support, you know. And, you know, it's one of those things where, you know, give us an opportunity to tell you how much we love you again.
I certainly hope you've enjoyed our look back at the history of Fighting Tiger football. As you can see, there's something special that surrounds our program that's carried forth in the former coaches, the families, and you, our alumni. have a special thanks to Mike Mason, to Herb Wiseman, to Coach Eric Graves, and to the matriarch of the program herself, Miss Phyllis Finley. We also want to take this moment to dedicate today's film to all of our Fighting Tiger brothers that we have lost way too soon. This year, 2020, has been especially rough as we've lost both Skeeter Robbins and Cody Ubay. Those two men epitomized what it meant to be a Fighting Tiger. They carried that with them in their daily walks, and they shared that with those around them. And that's something that we all need to do as we go into our own walks of life. So until February, when season kicks off with our Fighting Tigers taking on the Thomas More Saints right here at Finley Stadium on Citizens Bank Field, we'll leave you with these words from Miss Phyllis Finley. Thank you.
And last but not least, if you can tell all these guys out here that are watching you on this video, what's one thing that you would tell them?
Once the tiger, always a tiger.
That's it. Good deal. That's perfect.
Thanks for being with us to relive